All right. I didn't know where to start, and I really have been debating on for the past week or so whether to make this video. After yesterday's events, I feel that it is a must that I make this video. I am a very angry mom. I am an angry grandma. I am an angry, soon-to-be ex-mother-in-law. The crap that went down yesterday was simply to God ridiculous. First off, this is the way I look at it. If your boyfriend took it upon himself to have a relationship with another man's wife before you and your husband split up, he should have the balls enough to deal with baby daddy when it's time to come pick up the kids. And see, that's another thing that really pisses me off. You sit and talk all this mad shit on Facebook of how my son is a piece of shit dad and he doesn't have the kids and he doesn't do this and he doesn't do that. But yet, he tried to get the kids yesterday and you didn't want him to have the kids because your little boy toy didn't want to deal with him. Well, little boy, maybe you need to man up. You're trying to play the role of stepdaddy. Never mind, they're not even divorced yet. And you guys aren't married. But you're trying to play that role and be all hard and tough on Facebook talking about those are your kids, those are your boys, that they call you daddy, and you do so much and provide for them, which is all bullshit. And for a woman, for a mother to let her children call another man daddy is just ridiculous. It's stupid. Or to allow him to have a daddy page when he's not a daddy and to sit and claim boys that are not his boys. That's really aggravating and just very trashy on your part. Okay? So, Boothang didn't want to deal with my son. Okay? Even though my son drove all the way out there. And then it became a big problem. And then apparently my son was at your mom's house. Because I guess that's where the boys were. I don't know. All hell broke loose. Your entire family, the majority of your family, wanted to start jumping on my son's ass once and again. Why, I don't know. It's ridiculous. I just think that on your part, you're being very childish. And then, when my son shows up at my house with the babies, come to find out, apparently, DCS was called on you. And you assume it was me. Little girl, I'm going to tell you something right now. First off, okay? My grandson, my oldest grandson is 3 years old. There's been many a times where I have felt that there was things that you should be doing as a mom to be a better mom, and you was not doing them. And my son confronted you on that. Never once have I called DCS on you. Never would I call DCS on you. Those are my grandbabies, okay? First off, let me enlighten you and your family and your lawyer, because I'm sure they're probably listening to this, which, hi, everyone. If I thought that my babies were being mistreated, abused, neglected, in any way, shape, or form, physically, mentally, anything, I would be at your doorstep. Oh, and that reminds me, I don't even know where you live, Maggie. Okay? Did not know until last night. Did not have your address. Still don't have your address. I just know the area of where you live. So, I know for a fact I didn't call DCS. If I thought something was going on with my grandkids, I would be at your front door. And I would be like, call the police. I don't care. This shit has went on with you for way too long. It's been 8 years, little girl. 8 years that I have dealt with your shit. You want to know why that I dislike you? Probably because of the way you run your mouth about my son and myself on Facebook. Probably because of the actions that you chose to take. Probably for the fact that you cheated on my son. Why you claim that he's such a pig and he did this and did that. To my knowledge, I have no inkling of him cheating on you. Is he a flirt? Yeah, he's a flirt. Everybody knows he's a flirt. But you took it upon yourself to have a secret life, a second secret life. You had a relationship with someone else for 10 months. Okay? It was even on Facebook, but you have his whole family blocked. Okay? So we couldn't see none of it. You was letting this other guy think that my second grandbaby was his child, him and his family. And that there was no way, shape, or form that the baby could be my son's. Okay? None of us knew this. You claimed that we knew this. Bitch, we didn't know this. No, we did not. But your dad did. Because your dad took you while you were drunk to go have sex with this guy. Good daddy right there. Good daddy. Your mom knew. Your stepmama knew. Everybody in your family knew what you were doing. My son's family was clueless to it. Seriously. You can damn sure bet that if I'd have seen that stuff on Facebook before everything went down, it would have been really, really ugly. So while you're sitting here trying to make my son look like a bad piece of shit and say that he doesn't take care of his kids, he doesn't do this, he doesn't do that. Girl, when he finally left your sorry ass, the next day he had his kids. And had his kids throughout the whole entire time you guys have been split up. Every paycheck, my son runs out and buys cases of diapers and cases of wipes. Okay? My son spent over $300 on clothes for those babies at Christmas time. We have yet to see them in them. Except for we've seen them in their winter coats twice. And I've seen them in their new outfits once. Okay? So, you sit and say, oh, he's just mad because I moved on. Honey, you moved on before he moved out. So, what the shit? You are currently with your best friend's boyfriend. But you want to sit back and say, I'm a piece of shit, my son's a piece of shit, our family's trash, we're this, we're that. Honey, you laid at home on your ass while my son was at work pulling doubles to take care of his family. You didn't cook. You didn't clean. You barely tended to the children. At the time, there was only one because you was pregnant. That was your excuse. You was pregnant. But it didn't stop you from running around with that other guy and his family. And then after my second grandson was born, there was all these excuses left and right. Why you couldn't do this? Why you couldn't do that? Blah, 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 blah. You always wanted to put everything off on my son. Granted, he's not a perfect man. There is no perfect man. No, he's not fully mature. Neither are you. That doesn't happen for many, many years in your life. You're never totally mature. So, I mean, get over it. But you didn't cook, you didn't clean, you didn't do what you were supposed to as a wife. There are things that I think you didn't do. There are things that you did not do that I think you should have done as a mom, but you didn't. And it's just ridiculous. It is so ridiculous. You sit and lie and talk shit about all kinds of things. You're ridiculous. Before you guys split up, I offered to watch the babies for $50 a week just so you'd get off your ass and go to work. You didn't want to do that. So when you sit here and say, oh, his mom offered to watch the boys for me, so what? So she could save her son some money? No, bitch, so I could save you guys some money and I could make some extra money. That's what it boils down to. It really had nothing to do with, oh, I think I'm going to save my son some money. No, I just figured it'd be a hell of a lot cheaper than the $280 a week you claim is going to be for preschool for my grandson, and then the $75 a week for my younger grandson, which I think is totally ridiculous. And I told you I'd help potty train him because he's 3 and he should be potty trained. There shouldn't be no you're arguing with my son on how he needs diapers, honey. He needs to be potty trained. That's part of being a mom. That's what you need to do. You need to start potty training your kid. You need to start paying more attention to your children instead of what's going on Facebook or Instagram or Snapchat or whose man you can go steal or how many nudie posts you can make on the internet. Yeah. That's what you should have been doing when you was with my son. You should have been being a real woman. You should have been being a real mom. Not taking nudie pics of yourself and sending them to God and everybody and having all these Facebook groups with your dykes and you know, showing your nakedness. You're being a trashy little girl, trashy little hoe, a basic bitch. Basically, that's what you're being. So yeah, I did offer a second time to save a lot of money that I think is ridiculous. And you tried to say, oh, she's what? Now she wants to? No, I tried to before you guys split up, just to prove a point to my son that you wouldn't get up off your lazy ass and go get a job. Oh, you did when he left you? Oh yeah, because you had to. Because what? Couldn't nobody else take care of you? You had 2 bums living with you that wasn't even paying no bills. So you know, this is just ridiculous. I really wish my son would have never met you. I mean, from day one, you've been trouble. You've been trash. You got my son to skip school, cut classes. Your mom was all on board wanting you guys to hurry up and have sex and do this and do that and blah, blah, blah. Promised him the world. Told him not to listen to his mom and you guys do this. She would even go and pick him up so you guys could cut school and go back to your house. Yeah. Now, I did call CPS then. Why? Because you were 15, Maggie. You were 15 years old. I was trying to find a way to stop this because I wanted you both to finish school because you're not going to have a very good life or career without a high school education. I wanted my son to finish school. I really didn't care if you finished school or not. You're not my responsibility. But as soon as my son turned 18, your mom flipped on him. Everything that she promised him went downhill. And then your family treated my son like shit. They still treat my son like shit. They treated me like shit. Talked mad shit. Mad at me because I'm upset because your mom's encouraging 2 children to run off, get pregnant, fuck up their life. And not have any education or know how to take care of themselves or provide for themselves. But I'm a bad mom, right? A lot of it's been a lot of hearsay. He said, she said bullshit on your guys' part. We didn't air too much on Facebook. Half the time we didn't even know what was going on. Joe didn't run to us and talk to us like you run to your family. Which I don't think is fair for your family to always be tag teaming my son. It's really ridiculous. The fakeness and the bullshit is ridiculous. Here's a reality check. Your mom's not a lawyer. You're not a lawyer. You guys aren't too smart on how things work. Coming from a man who's only making $400 a week, maybe a little bit more, and you think you're going to get what? $200-$300 out of his check? Honey, I know people that make way more money than my son and have 2 kids. They don't get that a week. Okay? So while you're trying to be a career baby mama, it's not going to happen. It's just not. And just all the shit you say about my son. Yes, my son needs to grow up. Yes, my son needs to take responsibility. Yes, he needs to do this and he needs to do that. But you know what? You need to do a lot of things also, Maggie. You really, truly do. You need to be a better mom. I'm not saying you're a crappy mom, But you're not up to par like you were putting on a friend on Facebook. As I like to say, fake book. I really don't care if you don't like what I'm saying. I don't care if your family doesn't like what I'm saying, or your lawyer. If you guys don't like what I'm saying, you know where my house is at. I'm tired of dealing with you people. You people are ridiculous. You guys are truly, truly ridiculous. And for you to say that I'm incapable of watching my kids because I'm legally blind, Maggie, you never had a problem before when you had me watch the kids all them times. Seriously. Really? Never mind the fact that I raised 2 children. And babysit multiple children. And, if you keep slandering me on Facebook, you're going to have a problem. Because, not everything, not everything you're saying is true. So that is slander. You're a grown woman. I can't tell you what to say or do on Facebook. But I can make a YouTube video and I can say the truth, because I'm going to continue to make YouTube videos. And I'm going to continue to say a lot of things. Okay? My son had a good babysitter. And you threw a shit fit because of an incident that occurred. Okay? And you made the statement that because she had some issues over a year ago, okay, with some drugs, that she was just totally unfit and a piece of shit to watch kids. Now, this is where you're going to get really mad and you're going to talk a lot of shit, but what I'm about to say is really factual. I'm not trying to make anybody look bad, and I'm not trying to dog anybody. But your father, your dad, not your stepdad, your real father, went to prison on drug charges. Right or wrong. And, your stepmom. But yet, you didn't want your kids to be around this certain girl. But it's okay for the kids to be around that shit, right? I remember before you and Joe split up, how you would rather me keep Noah. Why was that? Because over at your dad's house, there was crack hoes living there. There was drug Jesus Christ, can't even talk. He got me so upset. Drug paraphernalia laying around the house. So you had me watch my oldest grandson. But now that you guys are split up, now that my son is not kissing your ass, now that nobody really gives 2 shits or a fuck about you, now I'm this incapable piece of shit crazy lady, right? Honey, you haven't begun to seem crazy. You truly, honestly haven't. I am sick and tired of your bullshit. The post that you make on Facebook is ridiculous. I mean, you're just an attention whore. You've got to be an attention whore because, honey, most of the people that's on your Facebook, they don't like you. They know how you truly are. Everybody knows that you was cheating on my son, okay? Everybody knew, but we didn't know, and he didn't know. And you was loud and proud about it on Facebook. You thought because you would block his family, that we'd never find out. Okay? But when I told your mom about it and sent her screenshots of this shit, what'd she do? She ran her mouth like she always does. Hi, Jamie. And blocked me. Why you mad for? You mad because your daughter got caught up? You mad because everything you guys say about my son, where's your proof? But there's all kinds of proof on your daughter. Maggie, in some states, it's against the law to cheat on your husband. Do you know that? It sure is. Morally, it's wrong. But you want to use that as an excuse because my son, before y'all got married, cheated on you. Okay? But never mind the fact that after he cheated on you with this girl, y'all had a threesome. Y'all had a relationship with her. And you wouldn't have sexual relations with this girl without my son. So, but you're using that as an excuse that happened how many moons ago, Maggie? How long ago was that? What was that, 7.5 years ago? 7 years? Mm-hmm. That's your excuse for you to go and do what you do, right? Live a secret life with somebody for 9-10 months. Tell him and his family that my new baby, my new grandson, is his. Mm-hmm. Had I known that when I was at the hospital being nice to you and being around your fake-ass family, I probably wouldn't have been there. But I'm glad I didn't know, because I got to see my grandson be born. My grandson, who looks just like my son and my father. So, fact of the matter is, the point of this damn video is, I'd like to clear my son's name. He is not a perfect man. There is no perfect man out there. But for you to say that he doesn't take care of his kids is bullshit. Every paycheck he buys in babies' diapers. You're right, Maggie. He doesn't give you child support. By law, he doesn't have to. You guys haven't went to court yet. But when you guys first split up, my son was giving you $125 a week and did that for 2 months. And yeah, you're right. I found out about it and I told my son that he was absolutely fucking stupid. That he needed to take that $125, put back and save to get him a car and get him shit. Why is that? Because when he left you, he didn't take anything but his clothes and his PlayStation. You kept everything in the house. Everything that my son worked his ass off for. You kept the tax check that my son worked his ass off for. Because you didn't work. You didn't work for what, 2 years? You didn't work? No, you didn't. That was my son's money. That was my son's tax check. Unfortunately, yeah, because you guys are married, it's both y'all's. But you kept it, Maggie. You kept it. You kept the apartment. You kept everything in it. The car that he bought, you kept it. But he's a piece of shit, right? So yeah, I did tell him not to do it. Because he shouldn't have to. He really shouldn't. None of this should have ever went down. Maybe you should have been raised right. Maybe you should have been taught better. Do I think that I'm better than you? Oh, God, honey, yes. Do I think I'm better than your family? Oh, God, honey, yes. Just because your family has more money than me, money doesn't make you a good person. It doesn't. I raised my kids. I taught my kids life skills. I did a lot for my kids. Yeah, so what? I have vision problems. Your point is, I still was a better parent than somebody who wasn't, nothing wrong with them. But you know, you're going to sling mud at us for the rest of our lives, unfortunately. Unfortunately, we have to deal with you for the rest of our lives because you are the mother of my grandchildren. And while you're sitting back saying that my son's a piece of shit, let me tell you something, little girl. My son took the responsibility of another man's child. Not even your child or his child, but your sister's child. Piece of shits don't do that, Maggie. They really, truly don't. And you know deep down inside that my son is not a piece of shit. Okay? If he was a piece of shit, why'd you stay with him for so long? Because it didn't bother you when he was paying all the bills and taking care of you, working a double, coming home and cleaning the house. When you was home all day long and didn't do anything. Yeah, I'm going to say a lot. I'm going to say a lot that people don't know about. I'm not going to put it on Facebook. I don't have Snapchat or Instagram. The best I can do is put it on YouTube. I don't care what you people think of how I look or how I speak or anything. I really don't care. I am speaking my mind. I am speaking the truth. And you know it's the truth, Maggie. You do. You truly, honestly know it's the truth. I think truly deep down inside, little girl, you know that you fucked up. Because the little boy that you're with now, well, he just can't cut it, can he? He can't cut the mustard. He don't know how to take care of a family. That's come from your mom's mouth herself. She told my son that. Well, he just don't know what he's doing. Imagine that. If he was so much better than my son, them kids wouldn't be wanting for shit. Not that it's his responsibility, but when you take it upon yourself to get up on Facebook and act like you do everything and you pay the bills, fake book. Don't you just love it when people get on Facebook and be all fake, try to glorify their life and try to make themselves feel like they're better than somebody else? Oh, yeah. There's a lot of things that I could just go on and on about, but this is my first video about you. So you want attention, you're going to get attention from me. I don't care who you show this to. Show it to your lawyer. I don't give a shit. Do what you do. It is what it is. There will be more to come. Believe that. There so will. Because I'm sure there's going to be more incidences with you. But no, little girl, I didn't call CPS on you. For one, I don't even know your address. For two, I wouldn't do that to my grandbabies, okay? And for three, like I said, if I thought that something's going on with my babies, I would find out where you live. I would be at your door. I'm not scared of you. I'm not scared of nobody in your damn family, okay? Y'all ain't about shit. Your mom said she was going to beat my ass 7 years ago. I'm still waiting. It's not going to happen. You're going to beat my ass because you didn't raise your daughter right. Oh, I forgot. She didn't raise you, did she? So before you go throwing stones, little girl, remember, some of them stones can be thrown back at you. Just letting you know. But as far as you say my son's a piece of shit, my son's far from being a piece of shit. My son has the kids right now. You wasn't wanting to give him the kids yesterday. Why is that? Why? Just so you could talk shit about him? And you sit and say that, oh, he's just mad because I moved on. Girl, you moved on before he moved out. I think you're the one that's a little butthurt. Because every time he goes to talk to somebody or you think he's with somebody, you instantly hit him up and start running your mouth. But if you was so happy with who you're with in your life, you wouldn't be worried about what my son's doing. Now, would you? So, won't you piss off, potty train my grandson, and mind your business, bitch.